What is going on, everybody? Ivan here, and today we're going to cover the top 5 accessories that you must get if you play pickleball. Now, I'm myself a big pickleball enthusiast. I originally played a ton of tennis, but when I discovered pickleball a couple years ago, I was completely hooked. And along my journey, I discovered so many tools that really helped me up my game. So today, we're going to cover the top 5 accessories that you must get if you play pickleball. And it doesn't matter what level you are, as it's going to be beneficial for you across the board. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Now, to get us started, we got the Professor's Carbon Cleaner. And keep in mind, only use this if you have a raw carbon fiber paddle. If your paddle is made up of fiberglass, wood, or graphite, don't go for this because it's not going to work. The reason why it works for a raw carbon fiber specifically is because of the structure of the paddle. And pretty much what it does, the way it's made up, is within the carbon fiber, it makes up microscopic weaves along it, and that creates tiny little pockets that get clogged up with different dirt and other materials. And pretty much what this cleaner does is that it takes those air pockets, and if we scrub it on there, it can actually clean them up, pretty much opening up the pores within your guys' paddle. And if we go ahead and clean up those pores, it helps a ton with the spin that you can actually put on the ball because the paddle is going to be a lot more grittier. And in addition to that, keeping your paddle clean will allow your paddle to be useful for a much longer period of time compared to you actually keeping it dirty and not cleaning the surface whatsoever. I made this mistake early on when I first started playing because I didn't really take care of my paddle, and I saw this improve my performance dramatically, especially when it came to my serves and actually putting top spin on the ball. So if you guys have a raw carbon fiber paddle, I highly recommend this specific cleaner because it's going to do wonders to you guys' game. And in addition to that, it does a really good job of removing different scratches and marks on your guys' paddle, and it can be used up to 1,000 times. So it's going to last you guys a really long time. And honestly, this is the best way to keep your guys' paddle in pristine shape because that way it can feel just like new. Now we must put those paddles somewhere, and coming in at number 2, we got the Franklin Sports Pickleball Bag. And this is actually the official pickleball bag of US Open Pickleball Championships. Now there are multiple array of reasons why this specific bag stands out when, for example, we compare it to a normal backpack. The number one reason being is that it actually has a built-in hook into the backpack, which makes it really nice whenever you're on the court where you can actually just hang up your stuff, and it makes it much easier so you don't have to put it on the ground. It's already built into the bag, so you don't have to worry about any of the attachments. There are also 3 different pockets, and that way you can kind of separate your guys' paddles, balls, and your personal belongings. This is going to be really important to make sure that nothing rubs against your guys' paddle, because the more things rub on it, it's going to damage the paddle in the long term. And honestly, I actually have this bag myself, and it fits so much stuff, you have no idea. And the other cool part about it is, see this strap right over here? You can actually move it depending on what shoulder you want it on. That way, it's going to be super easy to carry, and if you are carrying a lot of stuff, it's not going to put as much strain on your guys' body. And this bad boy comes in different colors, so if you are trying to be stylish on the pickleball court, this is going to be the right bag for you. Now let's go ahead and take a step back and actually talk about performance. And coming in at number 3, we got Neobadge's lead tape. Now if you've ever played other sports like tennis or golf, lead tape is actually also used there, and it's mostly used to either help with your guys' control or to help you guys increase your power. So if you guys want to increase your power, make sure to put the lead tape at the top of your guys' racket, but if you're going for more of that control and stability, put it at the bottom, because again, depending on the location where you guys put it, it's going to have a completely different effect. So make sure you guys put it in the location where you truly want it to be. I personally prefer to use these guys for power just because whenever you're playing, most of the power is going to be centered around in the very center of your guys' paddle. So if we go ahead and put the weights on the outside at the top of your guys' paddle, you're going to get a lot more power if we hit closer to the corner of your guys' paddle. And that's mainly due to us actually changing the weight distribution because we're adding those 3 grams, and that can have a huge difference when it comes to your guys' game. And that's why I like Neobadge's brand specifically, is because whenever you guys put these on, you want to make sure that you have the same amount of weight on each specific side, because you don't want to get to the point where the paddle is going to be unbalanced and you don't really know where the weight distribution is. Because as I said before, if you have a little bit more on one side versus another, that can have a tremendous impact on your guys' game in both a positive and a negative direction. So you just got to be really careful with it. But most of the time, if it is unbalanced, it is going to lean towards the negative effect of things just because it's kind of unpredictable in which way it's going to hit. And with this lead tape in particular, the reason I personally use it as well is because it actually stays in your guys' paddle for a very long period of time. So you don't have to worry about it actually unsticking or you're getting lost somewhere. Once you put it on, it kind of stays on your paddle for a really long time. And once your guys' paddle is ready to go, you guys are going to be ready for number 4, which is going to be the picker upper for pickleballs. Now, I don't know what percentage of you guys play tennis, but these things were really popular during my tennis lessons when I was younger. I remember all the time when I was younger and I had a tennis lesson, I just had to stand and kind of serve over and over and over, and I had a kind of bucket of balls there, and that way I don't have to walk back and forth every time I wanted to serve. And with this tube, it kind of serves a similar purpose, because that way you don't have to bend down every single time you want to get the ball. And if you want to practice a move or a skill, again a serve, you can just go ahead and easily do that and have 14 balls all in one place. This is going to save you guys a ton of time, because that way you don't have to just rely on one ball. You can have all the 14 balls in one place. So there's a movement you're trying to get better at, like a serve, like a spike, stuff like that. You can do it in a much faster fashion. And in addition to that, this thing is really lightweight. It has a shoulder strap attached as well, so it's not going to be too hard to carry. I remember when I was growing up, I had like a metal bucket for tennis balls where you can kind of just put it on top of a tennis ball and it would go in there. And oh geez, that thing was so heavy. So this thing is going to be so much lighter for you guys. But anywho, this thing is really useful for practicing or if you're playing a long game. So that way you don't have to go all over the court to actually pick up the ball. Now, to finish us off, doesn't matter at what point in the game, you guys want to make sure that you guys' paddle is going to be really stable in your hand. So coming in at number 5, we got the Tourna's Mega Overgrip. And let me tell you, this thing is extremely tacky. So if you have sweaty hands like me, you don't have to worry about a thing. So these guys are actually used in tennis as well, because tennis was a lot more popular for many more years. But when it comes to pickleball, Tourna does a really good job when it comes to their grips. They're extremely tacky, so they're going to be really stable in your guys' hand, but at the same time, they last you guys a really long time, and they're specifically made for pickleball. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I noticed that every single time I play with paddles that are not mine, I noticed that the grip on them is going to be a little too thick, and it gets to the point where it's not even really comfortable. But with this one in particular, it's really thin, coming in at 44 millimeters, so you guys are going to have an amazing experience with it. But in all reality, the most important thing when it comes to this guy is that it's going to give you guys a ton of stability, and it's going to last you guys for a really long time. Different professional players use it, and pretty much anytime you go to a pickleball tournament, you can actually see some of the different paddles that are out there. So if you're looking for a solid grip, this is going to be a no-brainer for you guys, as it can really help you guys' game. And there you guys have it. Those are the top 5 pickleball accessories that you must have in 2024. Ranging from tacky grips to picker uppers, we covered a lot of different accessories that can really help you guys' game. And the best part about this is, doesn't matter what level you guys are in, you can actually incorporate pretty much all these accessories, and it can really help out you guys' game. For me personally, I vividly remember the first time I used a carbon cleaner and the difference that it made on my topspin. And honestly, over a long period of time, these accessories can have a huge impact on your guys' game. Now, all the accessories that we went over are going to be linked down below in the description, and if you guys do want to try one of them, please make sure to go through one of the links, as it tremendously helps support the channel at no cost to you. I hope that you guys get some value out of this video, and if you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Till next time, peace.